I'm so excited to be doing my first live stream here on YouTube. I have my paint mixed here. This is my palette. We're doing Valentine's colors. I decided to mix all the paint beforehand because I thought then I can just get right into the painting. So I'm going to start. Can you hear me okay? This is my first stream, so I just want to make sure that everything is going good. But today we're working in oil paint. And I got my paintbrush. Hopefully the quality is okay. I am on my phone. Okay, you can hear me okay? I actually remembered to put my gloves on this time. A lot of times I forget and then my hands get covered in paint. That's probably bad for you, but you know, I can't always be bothered. How is everyone doing tonight? I just had some tasty soup. Put my kids down to bed, and now we're here painting. So I'm starting by just kind of blocking in the shadow parts. I sketched this out with just my pencil on this gesso board. I sketched it out yesterday. And I was gonna like spray it to seal it, but then I just was like, meh, I don't care. So I just wanted to get to the painting. So we're just painting right on top of that. It really doesn't bother me that much, honestly. Plus, her skin is going to be like this grayish, purplish white, like a cool tone. Hello. You inspire me again. I always love your art. Aw. Thank you for saying that. It means a lot. It's one of my goals, really, to inspire people to make art. I know a lot of people, they go in and out of phases of making art, but I think, especially in this day and age, that we need a lot more artists. We need more people creating. I think it's so important. We're just putting shadows in first. A lot of times I like to start with the dark parts. It looks really purple, but I think that's what I'm going for. Because I'm going to do some red parts on her. And I want them to stand out, so I thought if I made her skin like a cool tone, then the red parts would really pop out. I don't know. I feel like it would have been really easy for me to just paint her skin pink, but then I realized that, like, a lot of my art, and especially a lot of my Valentine's art, I just paint pink skin, and I was like, let's do something different. Let's mix it up. Hold on, I'll see what you guys are saying in a bit. Also, the brush that I'm using is a filbert brush. It's like a flat brush with like a tapered, rounded end. And I don't really buy fancy brushes. I just buy the bulk ones like off of Amazon or whatever. The cheap ones that are for acrylic and oil painting. And I don't stick to a specific brand. Honestly, I just go for a budget paintbrush. It's not really about the material. It's more about how you use it at the end of the day. Okay. Purple is my favorite color. You know, purple is also my favorite color. So we do have that in common. I think I might be making her skin a little bit too dark. Might have to calm down on the shadows here. Back it up a little bit. I'm having a hard time figuring out what style I'm going for. I love Alice in Wonderland, so I have been using that for inspiration lately. Honestly, at the end of the day, your style just comes down to mashing a bunch of stuff that you like together. So I think you're on the right track, I would say. Then we just blend it in there. I love painting on this gesso board panel. It is so smooth. It's so satisfying. I have been doing some painting on canvas, but I will admit that canvas is not my favorite. I kind of hate the texture, but I also like how convenient canvases are. So sometimes I just suck it up and I just paint on them. Because you can make art on whatever surface. Hello. Thank you. How's it looking? Good cooking? I did cook some good soup just recently. People ask me a lot like how I paint so smooth, but I mean, I think I just don't paint in super thick layers. I just I don't know, this is just naturally how I paint, like ever since I first started oil painting. I just kind of naturally paint like this. I just like to make everything really smooth. Some people paint with a lot of texture though. Sometimes I get jealous of that. I go, wow, I wish that the texture came naturally to me, but it just doesn't. I like everything really smooth, which is good. So I just lean into it that as well. Oh, I have a paper towel down here, and I wipe my brush off the extra paint as I'm going. So then I don't have too much paint on my brush. This is getting very purple. Thank you. You like acrylic and watercolor? See, I'm the opposite. I actually really despise watercolor, especially. I tolerate acrylic. I use it sometimes as underpainting, but never really the full painting because I get so frustrated with it and I like to really take my time and blend. We're getting this in. This is definitely darker than what I had in mind, so might need to just calm down with the shadows a little bit. They're satisfying to put down though. I think it'll be okay once I put the red parts down. The blood. We do enjoy some blood now and then. Most of the time I keep it pretty cute and stuff, but sometimes we like to paint some blood. The new year is going so well. Thank you for asking. I hope you recover well from the flu. My whole family just had that recently. So that was cool, especially with kids. Let me tell you, that is one of the hardest parts about being a parent is your kids are always getting sick and then you're always getting sick and then you all get sick together. And then you're all puking all over the place. A great time, let me tell you. But we make it through, we survive. And it's all good at the end of the day. Okay, I think that's good. I may fix some things like here and like her shoulder. I'm not certain if I love the pose just yet. Like the wing might need to be moved back a little bit and the shoulder. I don't know. We'll see. Are you self-taught in art? Yeah, mostly. I mean, and I guess nobody is really self-taught because I learn from videos, especially on YouTube, and books. So I guess the YouTube and the books taught me. But no, I never went to college or anything like that. Look at this red. Oh yeah, that's satisfying. I'm gonna just blast it in there. Oh yeah. Nice. Thank you. I feel like people either love my art style or they hate my art style. But the thing is over the years, I kind of have just come to be very neutral about that. I just don't really care that much because what matters is if you like your art, you know? Like, I like my art and I like making it and I'm having a great time and that's what matters. And if I didn't, then I would probably stop. But I don't see that happening. I think that even if social media didn't exist, I would still be here regardless. Because that's what it's about for me. Enjoying the process of creation. Yeah, I like the red. I'm gonna need to add some highlights to that, but I like this color a lot. It's this one here. Quinacridone Scarlet Duo Aqua Oil. Supposedly these ones you can use them, you can like mix them with water, but I never do that because I despise the water. So it's all oil up in here. I just use it like a normal oil paint. I got it with the intention of using it, like mixing it with water. And then I just never did that because I realized that I hate it. But the paints are great. There's some great colors. So I recommend them just, I don't know, to use as oil paints because they're great. They're technically just oil paints. What am I gonna do here? Okay, so it kind of goes like this. Have this lighter reddish pink. I think I'm just gonna paint over the eyebrows and then I'll just put them back in after. We're just gonna delete them. That's fine. Oh, yeah, that's nice. I like that. Hello. I just wish I could have more life in my sticker shop. Yeah, it can be discouraging sometimes being an artist. I will say it's definitely not a linear path. You have to get really accustomed to various influxes of your income. It's all over the place. That looks pretty wild. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. For those wondering, I'm using a mixture of Duo Aqua Oil and Gamblin oil paint. But I kind of just use whatever I find at the store, to be honest. But that's what I mostly have because I like those, and I do tend to buy those ones online because I'm familiar with the brand. But sometimes if I'm in a pinch, I will go just to the art store nearby me, Michael's, and just get whatever they got. They got like Winsor and Newton brand. I like those too. Have a lot of those ones. I think I'm gonna add some of this. Maybe we'll add a little bit there. Some very intense Valentine's makeup. I'm learning to draw characters coming from an illustration background, and I love your work. I feel it is so hard to make the proportions perfect. My faces look so wonky. I mean, mine do sometimes as well, but I find that honestly you just need to keep drawing because for a long time I used to just make the heads really big on all my characters, and then sometimes I still do that by accident, but then I noticed that I was doing that, so then I fixed it, and now and I still have anatomy problems sometimes, but every time that you notice something is off and then you fix it, you get better with each one. And then eventually you have just more of an eye for it and you know where things go just naturally because your brain has absorbed all of that knowledge from all the art that you've made. And then it just it comes more naturally to you, and you'll be drawing or painting and you're like, oh yeah, this part is off, and you can like pinpoint exactly what it is that's off. Before, a lot of times I would just be like, oh, things look weird, but I don't know exactly what it is. But now at this point, I feel like I have more of an eye. I will say that because my art style, I wouldn't say that my anatomy is exact, but that is on purpose. I did learn anatomy by studying realism and drawing realistically before I got to this style. So I did a lot of studies from life. So every once in a while I do paint realistic portraits like of my family members. I painted one of my son I didn't share it on social media because I don't like to share my children too much on social media because, you know, they're a little bit too young to even know. And I just don't want to put them on social media until they can tell me if they are okay with that or not. But yes, I did paint a realistic portrait of my son. I need to paint one of my daughter as well. That has been on my to-do list. It's always good practice. It used to annoy me when, because I can paint realistically, when I would paint realistically and family members or whoever would see those paintings and go, wow, that's amazing. And they would do like a backhanded comment about, it would be like, whoa, why don't you always make art like this? Oh my goodness. I don't like how it's going in and out of focus. I wish that I could make it focus more. But I suppose maybe that's just how it is with the live stream. I feel like you can't see so much what I'm doing, though. But yeah, when people would prefer my realistic paintings to my art style paintings. But now I don't care so much. I think like at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and what matters is if I enjoy it and I'm having a good time. And you kind of have to detach what other people think from your work if you're gonna, you know, be happy and fulfilled with it, because it's not about that. It's not about that. So now I just go, oh, thank you. You know, because people aren't trying to be malicious or anything. They're just giving your honest opinion, but you know, you get to choose how you react to that. I think maybe this is okay. I'm going to blend this part out. You've drawn realistically for your whole life, and now it's the face for you. I am working on making a tutorial, an updated one. The old one I had it privated for a while, the how to draw a cute face from 5 years ago. I had it privated for a while because this is my opinion, but it's pretty bad. Yeah. But then I was like, no, people were asking for it back. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. And there is even some negative comments on it. But I was like, you know what? That's fine. I'm just going to put it up because I made the video. Some people do find it helpful. And that's okay. I'm just going to put it up. I'm just going to put away my opinions about it. And I'm just going to put it up there because maybe somebody will find it to be beneficial. But I'm working on making an updated one. So maybe I could help with that. I will say it will be definitely like a stylized tutorial because it will be in my art style, obviously. Hello, welcome to the stream. So I don't plan to make any tutorials on my channel that are like how to draw a realistic face, how to make realistic art. It's like I do know how to do that, obviously. That's what I learned when I was starting. But that's not what I plan for the channel to be about. It's you know, this is where you come for serendipity. This is serendipity time. This is where you come if you want something weird, some kind of popsurrealism art. I think if you want to learn how to draw realistically or anatomically correctly, there's a lot of channels here on YouTube that do that amazingly. One is Proco. Definitely recommend. He has some great anatomy videos on his channel. You probably do know his channel if you are here on the art side of YouTube. He's very well known. But yeah, that's not what I'm about here. But we're just having a good time making weird art over here. I think that's good because I like the contrast of the cool grayish white skin tone with the deep red makeup. I think it pops really well. And then when I put the blood there, it'll be very good. Having a great time painting on this gesso board. I just love this texture. I watched it as a guide. It was helpful. I'm glad it was helpful. I am definitely very hard on myself about that video. I think it's a bit rough. It's a bit rough. But I suppose when I look back at my old art, all I can see is the flaws, essentially. But I'm trying to be nicer to myself. Especially when I'm like, man, I hate this piece that I made. And somebody who follows me is like, that's my favorite artwork. And I'm like, well, now I feel bad. I'm sorry. So I'm just going to try not to bash on my art too much because it's like I made it. I liked it at the time, usually. And, you know, it served its purpose and it helped me grow. And that's okay. That is okay. Maybe we want a little bit of this pink. Pink? Maybe? Interesting. Yeah, I think that's okay. Oh, for anyone else that's watching here, this is my palette. This is all the colors I got, some Valentine's colors. I use a palette paper. You can buy them in a pad. I like it because when you're done, you can just rip it off and throw it away. All right, let's paint this in. I think we're just painting over the eyebrows now. I'll just put them back in. You can kind of see where they are anyways because where the eyeshadow ends. So I'll just put them back in. I can paint, but it's difficult for me to make sketches. They never really turn out right, especially if I'm trying to make a face that looks with a tilt It looks like her face is crooked. My tip is draw on one of these so that the artwork is like facing you. I have this like desktop easel. I put my sketchbook in it because when I'm drawing and the paper is on the table, I'm looking at it crooked. I'm not looking at it face on how the artwork actually looks. And then when I lift the sketchbook up and I look at it front facing, a lot of times the whole face is skewed because it was skewed at an angle while I was drawing on my sketchbook while it was on the table. So I realized that a while ago, and ever since that I have been using a tabletop easel to sketch. The proportions are a lot better, the angles are better, things aren't as messed up. And I realized I was drawing it correctly. I was just drawing at an angle and I couldn't see correctly what the actual artwork looked like. So that is a tip that helped me. That and obviously just drawing a lot. Like a crazy amount. I was the person in school who just always had a sketchbook with her constantly. Like the teacher would be talking and I just had my sketchbook with me. I was just sketching the whole time. I did not seal the pencil before starting this painting, and I will say it is definitely smearing a little bit into the paint. But I think it's okay because her skin is actually already going to be a gray tone, so that's fine. And I'm probably going to do more layers over top of this once it dries. So I suppose that doesn't bother me too much. Do you find yourself trying to flip your drawing to check if it's good? I feel like... yeah, I take a picture and I will flip it. Especially if I'm drawing a face straight on. And then I will be like, okay, this part is off, and then I will fix it. Sometimes if I'm drawing a face straight on, like front facing, and I want everything to be symmetrical, I literally will take my ruler out and I will measure everything. The distance between the eyes, the distance of the side of the face, the edge of the mouth, the eyebrows, everything symmetrical. I don't do that all the time, but one that I did do it with was my Libra drawing, because she's super symmetrical. The zodiac sign is literally the scales, and I was like, okay, I can't mess this one up. So I took my ruler out and I measured literally everything and made her as symmetrical as possible. Except her arms, I didn't care if they were, one is probably higher than the other, but the face, I made sure the face was symmetrical. I hope I don't dip my jacket in the paint. I might do that by accident. Sometimes I accidentally do that. And then my whole arm is covered in paint. Then I'm like, what? Why did I even put on these gloves in the first place? Am I using oil paint? Yes, this is oil paint. This is all oil paint today. And we're working on a gesso board panel. I think I just dropped my paintbrush. Hold on. Ugh. I dropped it on the ground. This is why I have, on the floor in here, I have a, what is it called? That painting cloth? Canvas cloth? I have it covering the whole, like, side where I paint in my art studio. Because there's carpet in here, and I keep dropping my paintbrushes all the time on the ground. And the other day, I moved the canvas cloth because it was getting all rumpled up under my chair, and I moved it, and I found like 3 dried up paintbrushes under it. I was like, no! I was wondering where they went. I literally lost them. That makes me feel so much better. I was like, am I doing too much? Is this normal? Or, I don't know. Maybe we both have issues. I don't know. But I definitely do that. I think it's like a perfectionist thing. But it works, doesn't it? I will say digital art is like so easy to do that with though, because you can just flip it constantly. And you can just get everything perfectly with digital art. But the thing about digital art is that you don't get the satisfying tactile feeling of like actually using the material physically, like with your hands, you know? I like just getting in there with the oil paints and colored pencils. Definitely prefer traditional mediums over digital art. Do you watch any anime? What shows do you like? I was just watching an anime yesterday, actually. I was watching with my son. It was a kids' anime. It was about soccer, of all things. I was watching a soccer anime. I don't remember what it was called, but it's on Netflix. You could probably find it. But I thought it was pretty cute. I'm so happy I got to hop on and see you do your artwork. I'm glad you could too. Thank you for hopping on. I think I should blend this just slightly. The edge. But we don't want it to be... maybe that looks a little weird. Blend it in a little bit more. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I figured it would be a good idea for me to live stream though, because a lot of the times I'll be just in my art studio painting and I'm literally talking to myself already. So I'm like, well, it would probably seem a little bit more normal if I was doing a live stream, because then I'm actually talking to somebody instead of just being actually neurotic. Just having a conversation with myself, apparently. There we go. This looks very strange because I need to blend it out. Blue Lock. The anime? I don't know. I have watched Hunter x Hunter. I'm trying to think of what I will say I'm a little bit basic because I feel like my favorite anime is probably Sword Art Online. But that's because like they have the kid in the show and she's so cute. What is her name? Yui. And I cry at that part. So cute. I watched a lot of anime though. My Hero Academia. I mean, I feel like you could look at my art and tell that I watch anime, right? I wouldn't say my art is directly anime, but I was definitely inspired to make the eyes bigger in my art because of watching anime. I was like, oh yeah, I like them big juicy eyeballs. I like them. I was like, let me just put that in my art. But then I wanted to make them like somewhere in between a realistic eyeball and an anime eyeball. So then this kind of just happened. I just tried it one day and I was like, yeah, that's it. That's the sauce right there. That's what we're sticking with. Yeah, I appreciate and love many artists that use digital art, but personally I feel the same. The feeling of painting, I love the feeling of painting so much. Yeah, I do digital art mainly to like mock up for colors. Like I'll bring my sketch into Procreate and then I'll figure out my colors in Procreate, but then I'll do the actual like full artwork in oil paint or colored pencil. Lately I've been wanting to do more oil paint though, because I was like, my oil painting skills have been getting neglected, honestly. And I did like all colored pencil in 2024. Like, I think 99% of the art I made in 2024 was colored pencil. I just went hardcore in the colored pencil. And by the end of the year, I was like, okay, I need something new. I hop around a lot usually, but normally there's a good mix of oil paint and colored pencil. But for some reason in 2024, I was just like all in on colored pencil, which is great. I feel like I did make some really good pieces that I like, and I had a lot of fun. But yeah, by the end, I was kind of like, okay, I need something new. I need a new thing. I wanted like a bit more of a challenge, and I feel like I got really comfortable with the colored pencil, and then I was like, well, I haven't painted in a while, and I started painting, and I was like, oh man, I have some work to do here. I've been watching a lot of art history videos and studying like a lot of the old master like Renaissance painters like Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, painters like that. And I've been learning so much. I never went to art college and I was like, I feel like I'm missing something. And I realized it was art history I was missing. And I went back and I studied art history and I was like, whoa, this is amazing. My mind is blown. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm still definitely gonna be, I still feel like I have a lot more to learn. What's your favorite My Hero Academia character? I like Froppy, the frog girl. Is that her name? She's so cute. I'm just going in with a dry brush right now. No paint on it. We're just getting it really blended right here. I feel like right here I want it more blended. So that's what we're doing. I can hear my husband stomping around upstairs. I think he just got home. How long have you been drawing? Well, considering I'm 27, I just had a birthday. I have memories of drawing when I was like 5. So, like 20 years at least. But yeah, I always remember primary school, middle school, high school, drawing constantly. I had no internet for a long time. I didn't have internet access till I was in high school. And I had to do like a PowerPoint presentation to be like, Mom, we need internet because I have to do my homework and play games on Facebook. And I didn't tell her that, but, you know. Mom, we have to get the internet so then I can go and watch videos on YouTube, Mom. That's not what I said, but love from Mexico. Thank you for joining the stream. I love you too. For those of you that don't know, I am in the US. I live in Washington State. I think I have that literally in my bio, but yeah. I do love it here. I love the trees. I love the trees and I love the mountains. Whenever I travel, I go, I'm living in the correct place. I feel like I just suit this environment. I like the rain and everything. I can't handle the heat very well. I have visited Mexico before, actually. And let me tell you, I sweated hard. It was so sweaty. So, I would not survive, I don't think. I was sweating all my 100 SPF off of my body. Somebody in my comment section said, on, I think it was my most recent video, said that I remind them of their favorite art YouTuber from 2017, Emily Artful. And I was like, oh, I have talked to Emily Artful. Did you know that? On Twitter, we used to chat with each other. And I loved her videos. And so I was like, oh my goodness, Emily Artful. I wonder what she's up to. And I go to her channel and she hasn't uploaded in a whole year. And I was like, oh, did she leave? Did she leave the YouTube sphere? I'm so sad about that. I really enjoyed her. I hope she's doing good. She was so nice. Blending out. If you're wondering what this is right here, that is the shadow cast from the arrow that is coming out of her head. I feel like it's a little bit intense. Let's just lighten it up. Just blend it out. I do a lot of my blending with the filbert brush. But then I go in usually like with a dry brush or a fluffy brush. Here's a huge one. Mop brush. And then that's how I get all the brush strokes away. But I find it's very easy to blend on this gesso board. Shout out to Andrew Kadima, because he's the one who got me onto this. I asked him a long time ago, I was like, what is that wonderful surface that you paint on? And he was like, it's gesso board. So I went out and bought like 50 of them. Just kidding, I didn't buy 50 of them, but I bought a few. I was like, Andrew Kadima, he paints on this, and it's amazing. Yes, it is hot here. It is so hot in Mexico. It was like 115 degrees when I was out there. I was like, I'm not going to survive long out here. I need water. How do you edit your artwork for Instagram? I'm trying to figure out the best way to post my art. I know a lot of people use digital backgrounds and stuff. I mean, for my paintings, I just literally take a photo with my phone. And then I edit and Procreate to make sure all the colors match and all the textures match and all the things are good. But for my colored pencil drawings, I scan them in a scanner. Epson Perfection V19 scanner is what I use. It's a really old scanner. I have had it since like 2018 or something like that. But yeah, that is what I use. I scan and then I bring it into Procreate, and I don't change the artwork. Like, I don't add stuff that's not actually there. I just make it look exactly how it does in real life, because a lot of times when I scan or I take a photo, the colors are off. And I add like multiply layers over top or saturation layers, just like digital painting, essentially. And I just add that over top until the colors are just how they look in real life. I used to just edit in the editing software that's already like on your phone or whatever. Just adjust the contrast and whatnot and then upload it. And then I was like, this looks not like the art in real life. It's so bad and it hurts me in my soul because this isn't how it looks, how I made it. And I'm like, I wish people could see it in real life because it looks way different. But then I was just like, no, I can just bring it in and literally edit the colors. And bam. There you go. Now it looks like it actually does. Amazing. For a while there, I had a hang up. I was like, no, that's cheating. It's not real. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm making it look actually like how it does. So then if you see it in real life, you're not like, what? The colors are different. $43 degrees here. Celsius or Fahrenheit? I'm in the US, so my brain doesn't compute the Celsius. If you hear in my studio right now, I have a heater going because I am down in my basement, okay? And it is so cold down here. I have a blanket on and I have a jacket on and I have my heater going because it is so cold down here. I'm just going to put in where all I want the red parts to be. I love these lips because they're like the Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland, you know? The one where she has the big head. But I always liked her lips. So good. Love it. You know, I haven't had any snow here, which is kind of weird because usually it has snowed. It's snowing everywhere. It's snowing in like Florida or something. And I'm like, what? And I had no snow here where it usually does snow. In Washington? Never heard of a scanner before. Going to look into that. Epson Perfection V19. EPSON. Perfection V19. That is what I use. You just plug it into your computer. It scans up to like a 9 by 12 inch size paper. It's not too expensive if I remember right. But yeah, I just put my sketchbook paper in there, close it, scan it, bring it in to Procreate, make sure the colors are correct, and then I upload it. And if it's a colored pencil drawing, a lot of time I crop around the entire girl and then I add a whole digital background. But I haven't been doing that recently because I've been doing oil painting. So there will be a whole background already here, painted. Because it's painting. Amazing. I kind of hate how it goes in and out of focus like that. Kind of bothers me because I just figured out on my phone how to lock the focus. You just hold down on the camera and it will lock into focus, the autofocus. And I'm like, man, I can't do that here on the YouTube live stream. So I guess I'm just gonna have to get used to it. I'm just gonna have to get over it. Unless if there's a way that I can fix that, I don't know. Maybe if I used a streaming software. I'm just using my phone, so I don't know too much about live streaming. What kind of digital backgrounds do you make for pictures? Pretty simple ones usually. I just draw them. You can see because pretty much all my art from 2024 was color pencil drawings, and a lot of those have backgrounds. It will just be like a solid color, or it will be like a cloud background. Something kind of simple. But I've been working on, I want to do more elaborate background stuff recently. Let's do, I think I might cut off that part of the wing. I think that's a little bit too much wing going on. So cold here. My kids just had 2 days off of school canceled. Oh, in Michigan? Yeah, it's cold out there in Michigan. My sister lives in Minnesota, and she is just experiencing all the snow right now. All the snow and all the ice. And it was like, I actually have green grass out here. The sun was out shining. We had the green grass. I was like, what? Is it spring already? I haven't even seen a single snow. Usually, by now, I have seen snow. Watch, it's probably all saving up for February. A lot of times that happens. It will just start snowing a whole bunch in February. I'm actually going on a vacation in February, though, so that's good. My husband got, he's been working at his company for 10 years, so they're paying for a trip for us. So we're going to go. We're going to go to a tropical location for a week, so that's going to be awesome. I don't know if I will, like, pre-film video stuff and, like, schedule it to be posted here on YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I will just make something before I go and post it. I used to take a picture with my phone and fix it in Photoshop. I used to use Photoshop. I kind of hate Photoshop, though. I kind of prefer Procreate because it's so simple. It's just simplified. It's looking beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I'm in the mountains in California. We haven't gotten snow. Yeah, it always happens in February, doesn't it? I thought it was so weird that all those fires happen in literally January. I was like, it was raining over here. I was like, what's going on in the wintertime? The fires in the wintertime? So weird. Blend out her eyelids. See, I started out with her really intense eyeshadow, and then you just kind of blend it. blend it in. You just kind of trust the process. I've heard a lot of people say to me that oil painting is so hard, but I've had the complete opposite experience because I always had a hard time with watercolor and acrylic. And then I started oil paint and it was like, oh, yeah, this is a good time. Like immediately I was like, oh, okay, here we go. This is what painting's supposed to feel like. So I think maybe it's just because I'm just an oil painter. I literally taught myself how to oil paint in 2016. And yeah, I actually do remember the first time that I oil painted. And I remember just being like, oh my gosh, it's like butter. It really is like butter. I love it. I always hated how fast acrylic paint dries. I was doing the underpainting with acrylic paint, but I don't know, I might stop doing that and just instead just do oil paint and then alternate just between various different paintings, because then I can just work on a bunch of different paintings all at once, and then I can just rotate and the whole thing can be oil paint all the time, because I might honestly prefer that, because I 100% prefer oil paint. We're getting this shadow down here of her face. The light is coming from here, so we kind of want the bottom of the face to be a bit darker. I think this is going well because the skin tone is a little bit lighter, and then the red parts are darker, which is what I kind of wanted. That was the vision I had. I love oil painting so much. The way it blends and just glides is so nice. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. What liquids do you use to wash out the oil paints? I use Gamsol by Gamblin. Odorless mineral spirit. I have a jar. Right now my tablet is resting on it, otherwise I would get it and show you. But I'm considering to do a full like beginner's guide to oil paints video. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. I am still like kind of formulating in my head what that would look like, because I want it to be well organized and well thought out if I make that video. And I could just tell you like everything that I know about oil paints and like what stuff you would actually need to start, or what I know anyways. I definitely don't know everything. I don't even know if I would say I'm really an expert. But I have been educating myself more recently, and I'm like, well, it doesn't matter that I don't know everything, because I feel like I know enough and I've made enough oil paints that I think the information that I do have would be helpful. So if you guys would like me to do that, I definitely could make a video like that. So maybe that would be helpful. I usually only paint clouds, sunsets, food, animals painted. I want to focus more on more people. I don't know why, but I have always been drawn to portrait art. I've made all kinds of art. You know, back in the day, I actually even have painted dogs, like dog portraits. I went through a phase in middle school where I got this How to Draw Horses book, and I just drew horses for like months. I drew so many horses. I can still draw a horse if you want me to. I don't even particularly like horses that much. I just was like, all right, let's draw horses, and then I was addicted to it for a while there. I feel like my poor mom, she was concerned. She was like, yeah, she's a good kid and she doesn't do drugs or anything, but she's in there and she's got these books with naked people on them and she's drawing all these naked people all the time. I'm like, Mom, it's anatomy. It's anatomy. I'm an artist, Mom. It's not a phase. It actually was never a phase. Here I am still. Yeah, I need to, if I had to choose something that I need to work on, is I need to work on landscapes. I've been saving some reference photos. I really want to work on landscapes. But you know what I've been really craving to paint and draw lately is knight armor, like a knight helmet, like a really elaborate, like a girl in a really elaborate set of armor. Because um, if you've looked at a photo of armor, so it's super reflective. The metal is so shiny. And I love that. I love things that are shiny. I love the shininess. That's why the eyeballs that I paint are so shiny. I just love that. And I'm like, oh man, if I could paint some reflective metal texture and like make really elaborate designs on it, oh, that'd be so great. That just sounds great. I've just been gathering a lot of reference. I think I will start by doing a lot of sketching. And then I want to design my own knight armor. I saw this knight helmet and they put like a whole dragon on top of this knight helmet. I saw like a angel lady on top of a knight helmet. I was like, what? The possibilities are endless. So yeah, that has been exciting me lately. I tried to talk to my husband about it. He was like, what? You're losing me. My husband couldn't be more removed from the art community. He couldn't be more opposite to me. Our relationship is like opposites attract kind of a thing. So sometimes when I'm talking to him about art stuff, I can feel him glazing over on me. And I'm like, oh, sorry, I was getting like too deep in the sauce. But so my compromise was like, oh, well, then I should just go on YouTube. I should just go on YouTube and find the people that want to talk about the art stuff and talk to them about it instead. So here I am. Much love to my husband, but he's definitely not an artist. Sometimes I wonder if I would have loved or hated if I had ended up with an artist. I don't know if I would like to be with somebody like me. I feel like I can be very particular. I'm too self-aware, you know. I want to know all the materials you use to make art prints, holographic, keychains, what equipment you use, package orders. I want to try those for myself. Oh, okay. So my art prints, I ordered them all from this site called Cat Print. I used to make them myself, but then it was so stressful, and then there was this incident where I got so mad I almost smashed my printer, and then I was like, okay, this is not worth the stress. And so then I ordered from this site called Cat Print, and they have never done me wrong. They have the holographic options. So awesome. The stickers, I mainly use a site called Sticker App. My keychains, I order from Alibaba. I have a supplier on Alibaba. Vogue Race, I think. All the supplies I use to package orders, I mostly just order from Amazon. Rigid mailers, bubble mailers, plastic sleeves, etc. I don't like to roll up my prints, so I just buy like really big rigid mailer because I personally don't love getting a rolled up print in the mail. I find it to be annoying because then I have to physically unroll the print and it can get all ruined. It has all those creases on it. I just don't love that. The biggest print size that I sell is 11 by 17 in my shop. And I put that in like a 12 by 18 rigid mailer. I just buy those in bulk, like 100 pack of them. That's how I do that. Maybe sometime I will, if you want, because behind me is my packaging area set up. And I don't usually share that part of my art stuff because I usually just like to focus on the art. Because I'm like, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm that good of a business person, to be honest. But I do know a thing or two, and I have sold a lot of art prints and merchandise and etc. And I have been in business for many years, so I suppose I do know a thing or two. And if you wanted, I could show you my setup sometime. I could do like a tour and explain what all my stuff is that I use for. You're like a crow for the shinies. So true. Cat print is the best. I know. I feel like a lot of artists know about cat print. Cat print has never done me dirty. Love cat print. My friend Lord Grizz, you might know her from Instagram. She introduced me to cat print. So you can thank her for that. Okay. You know, I do have a lot of artist friends on Instagram, but I would love to make more friends with like YouTube artists. Because I'm slowly starting to feel myself identifying as I'm a YouTube artist now. I'm feeling the switch coming on. And I'm like, well, I should engage with the community more on here. And I should, I don't know, reach out to some people, make some friends or something. I don't know. Because especially being an artist can be so lonely when you're just down here in your art studio painting alone in the sadness. Just kidding, I'm not sad, but you know, it can be. It's like making art is a solitary thing. You make a thing alone and then you post it out, and the whole thing can be a bit lonely. It's like I have always been a very like solitary person, but you know, I crave for like a connection with like-minded people. I feel like I can hold a conversation with just about anybody, but to feel like truly like having a shared interest with somebody is so special and fun. It's like it's just like a different level of a connection. So I hope to make more art friends this year. That is my goal. One of my goals, at least. That and to become the next Leonardo da Vinci. Just kidding. But I did buy a book of a collection of Leonardo da Vinci works. I feel like if Leonardo da Vinci came back from the grave and he saw my art right now, he would be absolutely rolling. He would be like, what is this? I think he might be offended, honestly. He would be like, what is this? Why are the eyes like that? He would be like, this is not anatomically correct. What if though, do you think maybe he would love it? Because it is so different from the Renaissance art. All the art was mainly religious back then, because that was like, people just didn't make like personal art just for fun. All the art was religious back then. Isn't that crazy to think of? I was learning that when I was researching some art history, and I was like, what? That's all you painted? I'd be so bored. I'd be dead. Get me out of here. I can only paint Mother Mary, baby Jesus so many times. You know what I'm saying? Hello. I'm trying to become a YouTube artist myself. Amazing. You and Lord Grizz are my inspiration coming to art. Aww. Aww. I will tell Grizz. I'll tell her. I talk to her frequently. We got a gaming group chat. We do video games. I'll tell her. I'll tell her that somebody from my live stream was inspired by her. We do love Lord Grizz here. I'm all alone. Yeah, sometimes I do be lonely in my art studio painting by myself. Sometimes when I'm in here and I'm talking to myself and I'm like, am I going crazy? Are the fumes finally getting to me? Is this the end of my days? What is happening? Just kidding. I'm so absorbed in my painting that I'm not even thinking, honestly. I do have a question, though. Have you ever been so absorbed in your art that you're making your art and your whole body starts getting sweaty? Because I asked some of my artist friends this recently, and they were like, what? I was like, oh, is that just me? Like, am I getting so hyped up when I'm making art that my body just starts excreting sweat? Is this normal? I was like, I have no idea. Sometimes this happens to me. It feels like my body's using so much energy when I'm painting that I just start sweating. Like, I'll go from like freezing cold to just all of a sudden my whole body is sweating. I think it is definitely a thing that's like tied to being focused, though. So true. The sense of community here on YouTube as a creator is awesome. I am watching every single brush stroke that you make. I'm determined to take up oil painting. Oh my goodness. Don't you do mainly gouache? I did check out your channel. I will plan that introductions to oil painting video. I've been like, I feel like I've been getting in my own way a lot because I keep going, I'm not that good of an oil painter. Who even wants to learn from me? You know, I don't know all that there is to know, but I feel like I feel like I'm getting in my own way, honestly, because I'm like, no, I actually have learned a lot. I've been oil painting for a while, so I should just make the video. I should just stop listening to my inner criticism and make the video. Because I think it would be helpful. I feel like no matter what level you are as an artist, though, you're going to criticize yourself the most. I'm definitely guilty of that. I don't know what it was, but when I was younger, hold on, I'm adjusting my paper towel. When I was younger, I was like way more confident as an artist, and my art was way worse. I don't know what it was. It was like blind confidence. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's like beginner confidence or something. But now I criticize myself way more than I used to. I'm trying to not listen to my inner criticism this year, and I'm like just doing stuff this year. I'm just like, no longer am I gonna listen to that. I'm going to go out. I'm going to finally do the YouTube. I'm going to do live stream. I don't care. I'm doing it. But when I was younger, I was like, oh yeah, I'm like the best, you know? I was like, oh yeah, this is like a great art. Now I look at it and I'm like, whoa, my eyes are burning. What is this creation? But I was like so confident. Maybe that's just life experience, right? Because the more you know, the more you realize that you don't know stuff, you know? Yeah, mainly watercolor and gouache. I do oil pastel. Oil pastels are fun. I have painted with gouache. I don't hate gouache. Gouache is okay because you can kind of use it a little bit like oil paint. I am a pro? Okay, well, Angie Island Bunny said I am a pro, so I must be. Thank you for saying that. You're doing wonders for my confidence right now. I will make the introduction to oil painting video. I don't know when that will come out. I feel like I need to write down my ideas and like formulate how I want the layout of the video to be. So it could be a while before that comes out. I want it to be in the right timing as well. So, you know. But I'm going to start planning on that, I think. Because I realized I think that'd be really helpful. I want to be helpful on my YouTube channel. That's one of my goals. That happens to me sometimes, but I take the palm of my hand, my heart, maybe because tablet B. Blind faith and I know, I used to think I was the best. I would draw like some wonky artwork and I'd be like, oh yeah, it's the best, right? And now I'm like, oh, I don't know if it's okay, and yeah, no, it needs to be fixed, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I get in my own way so much now, whereas before I just used to be like, yeah, it's great. I think that's just probably part of being like younger and a beginner, though. But now that I know more, I feel like I realize how much I don't know. I made one sketch that I hated and I showed my friends and she said it was amazing. I was like, what? Yeah. I know, we are our own worst critics, though. You discovered my art around 2022? Oh, the first artwork you saw was the cow print girl. I love her. She was so fun to make. And to think it all started because I was listening to Doja Cat. So you can thank Doja Cat for that one. Do you want to know a fun fact? I actually own a full cow print cow suit. And I will admit, I wear it on the regular. It is very comfy, like pajamas. It's a fun time for me. I love cow print. We're starting in here. I might need to get a smaller brush out to get the nostrils defined, because I feel like this size brush is really perfect for all of the skin on her face, but I think the smaller areas I might need to get a smaller brush out. I have a whole bunch of brushes though. All kinds of them. Is cow my favorite animal? No, I don't think a cow is my favorite animal. I think I'm just a cat person. I do have a cat. His name is Franklin, by the way, for those wondering. I have a cat. I've had him for like 8 years. It's really funny because I got him as a wedding present when me and my husband got married. So we joke that that's the first child that we had. So I have a cat. He's fluffy. He's like white and gray. And I also have 2 kids. I do also love squirrels because I have a lot of them, like, at my house that run along my porch railing. I live in, like, a forested area. The trees are, like, right beside my house. And I feel like a Disney princess sometimes because the squirrels come and they run right on my porch railing. And, so sometimes I get groceries delivered to my house. I do still live pretty close, like, in the town, but, so I can get my groceries delivered to me, and sometimes if I take too long to go get them off of my porch, the squirrels will come and they will, like, get into the groceries, and they eat my bread. One time I got bagels, like, everything bagels, and the squirrels came and ate all the seeds off my bagels. I was like, "What? What?" But then I was like, "Oh, they're just hungry and they have families." You know, I'm too nice. But so then what I did is I got a squirrel feeder and I put it out on my porch for them and I fed them a bunch of seeds. I think I have drawn a girl that was a cat girl before. It's been a long time though. Like 2018, I feel like I drew a cat girl. I've been making art for a long time, so I wouldn't expect you to know that. You'd have to scroll pretty far back to find it. I don't think I've made a cat girl recently. That might be fun. I feel like this is coming along. This is coming along. I think we could get her face. I think we could get her face done. Let's do that. See, a lot of times I just block it in like this. Looks pretty rough. But you just gotta trust the process. Is there a particular specific art piece you hated? Oh my gosh. Hopefully you don't love this piece, but I made a chocolate milk girl. And she's a digital artwork. And immediately after I posted her, I was like, oh no, I hate it. And I've had some people tell me like that that's their favorite artwork. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but I hate Chocolate Milk Girl. She needs help so bad. The main thing that bothers me is that I don't know why I didn't see it at the time. I think sometimes when I'm doing digital art, my anatomy can get way off because I'm zooming in and zooming out and zooming in and zooming out. So then my anatomy gets all whacked out. Her eyes are really, really far apart. Like way too far apart. I have considered remaking her. I think actually the concept is really good. Because I think she'd be like such a cute oil painting. But if I remade her, like redesigned her and then remade her, and then we could do justice for Chalky Milk Girl, because she was inspired because I did the Milk Girl, the cow print Milk Girl, and then I was like, Well, we have milk, cow print milk girl. Let's do chocolate milk girl. And I also did like a strawberry milkshake girl too. Well, by the time I did the chocolate milk girl, I was like, I just don't like her. I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied with her. I also have, hold on, let me show you guys. Okay, so there's this artwork that I really want to remake. Oh my goodness. I think one of my kids colored on it. Oh my goodness, my daughter definitely got a hold of this. Oh well. You can see she scribbled on it. But that's okay, because I actually really want to remake this. You can see here her head is way too big. And her body is so small. And I feel like the colors are not working well together. But the concept is so cute. I love that her head is detached and it's just floating. And there's like no neck. She has no neck, and then it's open, and then there's just a planet inside her chest. And I love the 3 eyeballs. I really love that concept. So I really want to I think I will do a video where I just remake like the whole artwork. I redraw it, repaint it, do her justice. Because I made that painting so long ago, my children have mutilated it as well, so that's cool. But yeah. They don't get a hold of my art stuff as much now, though, because I'm down in my basement. I used to be upstairs and everything was out in the open and accessible to them. And then I was like, okay, enough. We need to lock it up downstairs. I discovered your art wasn't a person stole your art on Facebook. People are always stealing my art, though. I've just accepted that it's part of being an artist. You found my art on Facebook. I think that's so funny because I really don't put a lot of effort in on Facebook. So I feel sorry for people who follow me on Facebook, but I just have my Instagram posts like linked. So it just posts whatever I post on Instagram, post to Facebook. But I know a lot of people will message me on there and I just don't respond. I just don't really go on Facebook. To be fair, I made that page so long ago. When I first started, Facebook was my main social media, though. That's what I mainly used. I didn't really use Instagram. I just mainly used Facebook, and then I did commissions for friends and family on Facebook, and then I made a Facebook page, and I was like, yeah, Facebook's so awesome. And then I moved to Instagram, and then I was like all about Instagram, and I was like, oh yeah, Instagram is the best thing ever. You know. And then I made a TikTok, and now I'm like, I don't like TikTok anymore. So I'm just going to not post on there anymore. But now I'm just really loving YouTube. I've always loved YouTube, to be fair. And I always knew that I was going to be coming back here and like fully committing. But I think what it was is I was having babies. I was having my 2 children, and my mind was just so preoccupied. I was honestly just so focused on surviving motherhood that I didn't have much space to think about, like, my plan with my art. I was just kind of, like, making sure that I stayed productive and stayed sane. But now my kids are a bit older, and I have been having more time and space to think about things. And I realized that it felt like the right time to really commit to YouTube. So here I am. And I'm really enjoying it. Honestly, y'all are great. I'm loving the community here. And I'm so glad that I can do this live stream tonight. It's been so long since I've live streamed. Here we're getting this nose blended out. I will make sure to upload this live when I'm done filming. So if anybody missed it, they can re-watch it on the replay. You love the chalky milk, girl. See, I knew it. Will you be doing more zodiac signs art? I would love to see you do Cancer. I've done Cancer. I did Cancer. You can find her. She has crab claw earrings. But yes, I am doing all the zodiac signs. I'm still working on my Aquarius painting. I'm considering picking another zodiac sign and starting another one so that I can work on 2 zodiac paintings at a time, because the way that oil painting works is I am alternating between a bunch of different paintings at once. And when one is in a drying phase, then I work on the other one. So like probably while this one is drying, then I will work on a different painting. So I think I might do that with my Zodiac series so that I can get more of them done, so I can get more progress. I think that would be fun. I definitely need to blend this out more. Thank you for stopping by in the live stream, though. Have a good night. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying the live stream. What kind of oil are you using? Mainly, we got some Duo Aqua Oil and Gamblin. But I also use sometimes Winsor & Newton paint as well. But yeah, these are the paints. If you missed it, here I'll show my palette again. Here's the palette. We got all the paint. I mixed in my colors before going into the live stream because otherwise I feel like I would be mixing my colors forever. And I just wanted to get into the painting with you guys, because I feel like that's the fun part, right? I also have a paper towel, and I wipe. Hold on, I'm going to blend this out. I'm going to fix her nose after. Ah! What happened to her nose? When I first started, I used to make really big noses. When I was in high school. If you look at any of my art from high school, all the noses that I painted were really big. But it was because I was still learning anatomy. And I just overshaded the nose. I overshaded the nose. I put too much contrast on the nose. I will admit that this nose definitely needs some help. But we're working on it. We'll get there. It's oil paint, you know, you can do lots of layers. I saw that Cancer one is so cute. Thank you. Yeah, she's colored pencil. I was going to do the whole series colored pencil, but then I was like, I want to oil paint right now. So now we're oil painting. Are you going to show us your packaging setup? Not in this live stream because my phone is like strapped into this mount right now. But I think possibly in another live stream or in like a video, like a full video, I'll just show my packaging setup. It's like literally right behind me, so. But yeah, I just have a table over there with some bins and all my supplies all stacked up. It used to be a lot simpler of a setup, but over the years I just have accumulated things. My husband actually built my packaging table. He's so handy. Okay. I think probably when I do more layers on her, I'm going to have to glaze in more on her nose. How do you paint a tear or other clear liquid? I mean, I don't know how to I can actually, we have a tear here. I could paint that. I'll show you how I do that. So it's clear, so you want it to be like the same color as the skin, essentially. But how you make something shiny is essentially all about contrast. So here we have it's coming out of her. She has red right there. So I just painted in like I'm normally. Painting the skin, essentially. She has a little heart in this tear. Now we want a bit of the skin is reflected on the bottom here. So the bottom is usually bright. Then usually what I do is I add a dark part right there. I'm wiping off my brush lots in between. So then I'm gonna go around the outside of the tear here. So I'm just kind of filling it in right now. Because it's going to be clear, so it just has like the color of what's underneath of it. So the skin and the heart cheek underneath. So you just kind of fill it in like that. Just kind of blending things, smoothing things out right now. And then I'll add some darker parts and some lighter parts. It looks like I have been streaming for 103 minutes. It's starting to get late. I do want to finish the face. I'm grabbing a smaller brush right now. Like a little pointy brush. Maybe like this little teeny tiny one. Okay. So where you put the highlights is all about where the light source is coming from. So the light source is coming from here. And the hair goes like in and out and in and out. So you would say the light would hit here. I'll just paint some where the highlights would be. The light would hit like right here. It's all smearing, but and the light would hit like right here on the waves. And then on the top of the head would be brighter. Because you got to think about where the light source is. So mine are not like exact, like realistic artworks. But I still do consider the light source when I am painting. Even when my girl's not like even really in an environment or whatever, I still do consider, because it determines where all the lights and shadows go on the face. So now we add this like really bright on the bottom. I am going to add some really dark highlights shadows right here. Sorry if my voice is so loud. I'm literally right up against my phone. I'm like right on it. We're going to emphasize the dark against the light. Contrast is what makes something look shiny. So then we're just going to blend that out a little bit, because I don't want it to just look like a black blob, you know. I do think that I want the whole entire tier to be lighter. Maybe I will glaze that in after the fact. I'm going to blend this out a bit. It's so weird to be explaining what I'm doing as I'm doing it, because normally I'm just like, oh, that's just what I do, and then I just do it. I don't even really think about it, but then I'm like, I mean, I suppose I could explain the process. I do need to blend out these heart cheeks a bit. They are very sharp. So now, I don't like how sharp that edge is right there. Seeing if I like that base. So since the light comes down, it comes through the tier because it is translucent, and a little bit of the light comes through below it, like that. A lot of times it goes down right on the shadow like that. And then you add highlight. Too much white. Hold on. And that's how you paint a tear. Hope that demonstration was helpful. Thank you. I am planning to change how I paint hair going forward, because I feel like the way that I have been doing hair has been very cartoony. and I want to lean into more realism in my art. So I'm going to be painting like the individual hair strands. It will still be the same concepts applied, like where the light is and everything. But I think I'm just going to have it look a little bit aesthetically different. That's just what I've been feeling like doing lately, and yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I feel like my art style is constantly evolving. It has like a basic theme. Like I built like the bones of my art style essentially, but now I'm constantly tweaking stuff here and there. I think I'm going to get these nostrils defined. Okay. Have this. I think probably that is good. We have some pink here. Using a really tiny brush for this part, because the nose is so teeny tiny. This is a 8 by 10 inch panel, by the way. I wanted to paint it on this painting, not to be a humongous painting, because I wanted to get it done in time for Valentine's Day, and I feel like when I paint something very large, it just ends up taking longer because it's just more paint, it's more surface area. So we got the nostrils are coming in. So I feel like it's good to save using black for like very specific parts of the artwork. Some people don't use black at all when they paint because they're like, no, I don't want to use the color straight from the tube or whatever. But I do use black. I'm just very like specific about where I put it at. I feel like the nose is a bit straight. I kind of want it to be a little bit more rounded, like a baby nose. The way that I paint noses changed, because I used to do them very tiny and very pinched and very like snatched, but now I want to paint them a little bit more rounded and softer. And it's honestly because when I had my kids, I was always looking at their little noses, and they have such cute noses, babies and kids. I just love the little baby nose, how it's so round and cute. And I was like, oh, that's adorable. I want to paint that. And they got these little round noses. If you never looked at a baby's nose before, I recommend. I mean, don't be weird about it, but like, you should look at a baby's nose. Very cute. It's so soft, there's like no edges. This nose is not quite there. I do plan to paint some actual, like, real baby paintings at some point. I do draw babies sometimes. Very fun. Very fun time for me. Their anatomy is like, it's like putting a bunch of marshmallows together. It's like you just draw a bunch of circles and connect them, and then you have a baby. So cute. A nice round baby. I remember once drawing a baby and posting it on my social media, and somebody said, "Babies don't look like that. That's not what a baby looks like." And I'm like, well, the joke's on you, because this is actually modeled after my daughter that actually looks like this. So I didn't actually say that to them, but that's the truth. I feel like this nose is not quite coming out right. Something is off. I'm gonna have to stare at it and figure it out. Let me see. What is it? This is too much here. We need more of the other nostril, I think. More of the other nostril. Like this. And then I need to do this. Maybe I need to tuck it in more. I'm gonna blend this part out, actually. I think that might help. Maybe if I blend that part out, that would help. A little bit. It's looking a little softer. Okay, I'm gonna put, she needs definition right here. The light comes down. Or I suppose the light is coming this way, right? Because this shadow here and the nose shadow. But the light is coming down, and then since the mouth comes out, a lot of times the light will hit right on the Cupid's bow. So there will be a shadow under the nose, and then the light hits right on the Cupid's bow. That's so cute that it's called a Cupid's bow, because I'm working on an actual Cupid. So then I wipe off my brush, get in here and blend it out a little bit. Cupid's bow is such a cute name for that body part. I am going to get my fluffy brush. Hold on, let me find it. Where is it? I always lose it. Where are you, my favorite oldest brush? My most used. Super used. This brush is so old. I feel like I'd forget which paint color I had my brush and accidentally put it in the wrong place. I mean, I have done that before a little bit, but I kind of have my colors planned out when I mix them. So I mix them and I go, this is the mid-tone, this is the blush / mid-tone, this is the shadow, this is the mid shadow, this is the highlight, and this is the like brightest bright highlight. I kind of have them like planned out a little bit when I paint. So I just kind of know what I'm using for what. I get that more fluffy right there. This will just make the brush strokes disappear. This one needs to be blended out more. I think it's looking all right over here. Do you think this needs to be blended more? There we go. This is definitely my favorite brush. It makes everything so smooth. I feel like this whole bridge of the nose is actually way too dark. I think that's what it is here. Yeah, this is way too dark. Let me just... I'm gonna just blend this in a little bit. I think probably later I will glaze in more red on her nose because I did want her nose to be a little bit more rosy, more blushy. Let's put it. Try this. A problem that I had when I was first learning anatomy is I would make the nose bridge like really intensely dark, like almost a straight up line. And then the nose would really like pop off the page because it had so much contrast on the nose. So when you look at the artwork, then all that you see is the nose because it's like the darkest, most intense, highest contrast thing. And I had like nose blindness for the longest time. And then a few years passed, and then I looked at it and I was like, oh my goodness. One day I just saw it. I was like, I have been making the noses of my artworks way too intense. This was a long time ago. I don't do that now, but yeah, I used to make them super intense. Obviously, some people do look like that in real life, but that's not what I was going for. There was one time I tried to use distilled turpentine as washing liquid for my oils. I put that in one of my mini cups. A day later, the cup melted because of turpentine. Don't put that in a plastic cup. Yeah. It erodes things. I don't use turpentine per se. I use Gamsol, but it does the same thing. I keep it in a glass jar with a lid on it. And I only usually use it at the end of my painting session to clean my brushes. Okay, we're gonna do this bounce light here. The bounce light of the face. Because there's not always just a sharp, direct edge. I think I will go back in and add bounce light on the nose as well. We love a good bounce light. Because although the light is coming from here, things are still reflecting off each other. See here. Bounce light. We like it. We like a good bounce light. We'll need to fix that, but you can really see where the nostrils are now. I'm looking at the messages on another device, so there's a bit of a delay when you send a message. I don't see it for a while till it shows up on the other device. I will admit that I am starting to get a bit tired. It is getting pretty late for me. I can usually only paint at night because my kids go to bed. I spend most of the day doing mom stuff. That's what my schedule looks like. I do all of the basic mom stuff. And then the nighttime is serendipity time. Serendipity comes out. My son recently, he started calling me by my first name because he realized that I have another name besides Mommy. And it's hilarious. He's like, Danessa, may I have some breakfast? I'm like, who's Danessa? That's you. I'm like, yeah, it is. It's hilarious. I'm like, you're calling me by my first name? I am Mommy. Mommy is my legal name. I don't think I would like people online calling me that, though. That'd be weird. I think just my kids. It's very strange, though, because I feel like all day I'm in mom mode, and then I come down here and I'm like, I shed my lizard skin and I turn into a different person. Serendipity time. And then serendipity comes out. But I think it's really important when you become a mom to have something that's just for you, that's not your mom identity. Because then your whole identity becomes about your kids and you can lose yourself. And I feel like that can be a slippery slope that leads to unfulfillment in the end, because what happens when your kids grow up and they move out and you have nothing that is just yourself, you know? So it's important. It is all consuming being a mom, I will say. Very intense, but very rewarding. But it has taught me a lot of lessons, life lessons. We're getting this nostril nice and blended. Okay, I think I want to blend the heart cheeks and then go in on her chin and the bottom of her face. And then we can do these part of the lips here. I'm gonna blend this out. I feel like so far I am liking the colors that I blended. I feel like this is coming out how I wanted it to. I don't know how many layers of paint I'm gonna do on her though, because this is the first layer, and usually I end up doing more than one. I don't know what I blended with this last, but I can see on the camera that this needs to be blended. It's hard to see here in person, that reflection, but I can see that on the camera. It has a different angle, so the light is hitting differently. Okay. Now we're going back to this one. This is a number 2 filbert. This is what I've been mostly using for like the entirety of the painting, the main brush. It's just the perfect size. Okay, we're gonna just blend that out quickly. I have little heart freckles on her. You can kind of see them coming through here. They're in the drawing. I will add them back later. Yeah, I feel like that can happen when you're first starting making art. You think you need to make everything so intensely. You really like over render things because you figure out rendering and you love it so much that you just go crazy with it. And that's what I did a lot. I went super intensely with the contrast on everywhere. And so the whole thing was wildly over rendered. It was especially obvious in my super early digital artwork. But recently I have been discovering the more subtle differences. I realized that I just enjoy, there's something about the subtle differences that make a painting more lifelike. Because things are not so intense like that in real life. I think this Cupid face is coming out pretty good. From what I can tell, I don't know. I have been staring at it for hours, so I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'll be painting something and I'll be like, yeah, it looks good. And then I will step away from it and then I'll come back and I'll be like, whoa, whoa. And I'll see like all these mistakes I didn't see before. Because you get like painting blindness. So you're like thinking that, oh yeah, it looks great. But it's because you're like so up close and personal, been staring at it for hours. So we will see when I come back if I like the painting still. Okay. Also, would you guys like me to live stream the entire process of me making her, or should I just film the rest and upload like separately a video of the whole painting process? Because I can just do like a bunch of live streaming until she's finished. I'm not sure if I will do that though. We'll see. We are just blending out Miss Heart Cheeks. Just love these heart cheeks. Valentine's Day is just so cute. Thank you so much, Zara, for saying that it looks beautiful. I would love to see the other layers and how you glaze. Yeah, either way, you will see like the full video of her. I used to watch a lot of, do you know Happy D Artist? I used to watch a lot of her art videos, and she does that glazing as well. I learned a lot of that from her, from watching her videos. So I do that a lot. I paint the main layer and then I go back in, and I do have a bit of a different painting process than her, but pretty similar, I would say. That was like the main YouTube artist that I watched growing up while I was younger. I was watching some of her videos recently. I would love to know who you guys watch mainly. I feel like I would love to really build up my library of videos here. Because I feel like right now it's like you can only watch so many of my videos before you run out of content to watch, you know? So I feel like if I build up like a huge library of videos over time, then you could really just like binge my content. You could like go and just watch like a ton of my videos all at once. Because I like to do that with Happy D artist videos sometimes when I'm feeling like, man, I'm kind of lacking a little bit of motivation. And something about just watching videos of people painting, I'm like, oh, I want to paint now. Sometimes just watching somebody else create can spark that in you. Okay, I think the face is starting to look pretty good now. We're getting somewhere. I feel like I'm making pretty fast progress. I feel like when I'm online and people are commenting, I can tell who the artists and the non-artists are just depending on the way that they comment about how fast I make art. People are like, make the whole Zodiac series already. I'm like, do you realize how long it takes me to make one painting? Chill. You know, I am working on it, but I can only work so fast. And my whole entire daytime, I can't work because I am with my kids all day. And I can work sometimes on the weekends if my husband is home and we're not doing anything. But a lot of the times I am doing stuff because actually, you may not know this about me, but I have a huge family. Huge family. Both sides. Humongous. I have so many cousins, aunts, uncles, brothers, sister-in-laws. So much family and siblings. I am the oldest of 6. And my husband, he is the youngest of 9. So think about that. Our Christmas time is so busy. We have like 5 Christmases to go to every year. Like as well as our own, because we have our own kids. Pretty crazy though. I don't see myself having 9 kids in the future. I don't know how I would survive. That would be pretty wild. It's wild enough having 2, let me tell you. I'm really attracted to pop art styles in all mediums. I watch Hambrib art is a good one. I will have to check that out. I might be subscribed to them, but I don't know. I don't always remember the names off the top of my head, but I am subscribed to a lot of art channels. Because I've had this YouTube channel for a super long time. I think we're getting... I didn't want to lose the heart shape, but I also want the blush to be blended. So we're trying to find a happy medium here. I think it's probably okay. I think it's looking pretty good. Coming along nicely. Okay, I think I'm going to paint in the lip area. Let's fix this chin really fast. Something I really loved about Leonardo da Vinci's work is how he paints mouths, and they're so soft the way that he paints them, and just subtle. And I feel like I want to emulate that a little bit more in my work I feel like I will give my girls a lot of times these big, juicy, like cartoony, almost looking lips. Like they got some voluptuous lips going on, which, can be nice. But lately I've been just enjoying like the subtle, like artistic look of like a realistic looking lip. He always has it very tapered out on the edge there. His art technically has no edges because he does this blending technique. He does a blending technique where everything is all very blended together. Oh, I think I made that a bit too dark. I think I wanted it to be a little bit lighter. I keep doing that today. Sometimes we do that. That's okay. I like I want to get a more of like a subtle lip going on in my art. So I think I want the outside of her lips to be pretty white and plain. And then the inside can just be the heart, because that's the main part of the lip. I think what happened, why I was painting lips so juicy is like I just was on Instagram so much, and I seen like all these girls with like super filled up, juicy, voluptuous like Instagram lips. And subconsciously like seeped into my brain, and I was like, oh yes, I want to paint those big juicy lips. But now I'm like, let's tone it down a little bit. Let's come back to reality a little bit. I've been just admiring like things that are a bit more subtle. But I feel like that's just life, because what you like changes, and what you're attracted to changes. Your art just evolves with you. I feel like I'm coming into a bit of more of I'm working to like mature my art style a little bit. So we'll see what that ends up meaning, what ends up happening. I think I'm liking this. The heart really pops now. I like that. She's got those Queen of Heart lips. I love Alice in Wonderland. I don't do much fan art. I did an Alice in Wonderland artwork a very long time ago. I did. But I don't do too much fan art now. I'm considering to do more Animal Crossing paintings, though. I would like to paint Animal Crossing villagers, but like in like a serious Renaissance painting style. I think that would be really funny. I have been playing Animal Crossing recently. I almost have my debt to Tom Nook paid off, let me tell you. Okay. So I think this is looking a little bit better. I think I'm going to add a little bit. We lost that definition there a little bit because I overblended. Overblending can be a problem because you can really lose the shape of everything if you're blending too much. And I blend a lot, so that can happen to me a lot. Then I just have to put back in the shape that I lost. I feel like this mouth is what I'm wanting. You know, there is a medium that I realized that I have not tried. That is in a lot of the art history documentaries. Egg tempera. That's what they used, I believe, before oil paint existed. But I've heard it's like a very finicky medium to use. People don't really use it so much these days. So I don't know if it would even be beneficial for me to try that. But they did a lot of like murals and stuff. Renaissance painting and egg tempera before oil paint existed. Okay, I think I'll add a little bit of highlight on the lips. Now she really looks like the Queen of Hearts with the gloss. Oh, yeah. I love it. It looks weird to not have her eyes painted, but, you know, we'll get to that at some point. Some people start their whole painting with the eyes, but I usually do start with the skin. I like to paint skin, though. Probably my favorite part. That's probably why I start with it. Well, I am getting pretty tired, so I think I will finish up the stream. Here, let me just... I keep finding parts I need to fix. I'm probably going to put this palette in my freezer that is downstairs so I can save all the colors. Oh my goodness, I just rubbed the palette on here, I think. Wait, no, that was there before. What am I talking about? As you can tell, I'm getting tired. Hold on, let me fix this, what I just messed up. I think that was already there. Either way, we're going to fix that because it's bothering me now. Okay. I think that was supposed to be a part where there's like a blood splatter from the arrow. See, you could never do this with acrylic paint because if you did with acrylic paint, it would just dry way too fast and you could never, the paint would already be dry. See, this paint on her forehead is still wet, so I can do this actually. It's awesome. I love it. All right, well, I think I'm going to end the stream now because I'm getting pretty tired and I have been streaming for actually a pretty long time at this point. But thank you so much, everybody who joined, and I hope you enjoyed watching me start this painting. And maybe I will stream this painting again in another painting session. We will see. But I will definitely be streaming again at some point. So thank you so much, everybody who watched. And I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.